Hi guys, Nathan from Howling Success Dog Training and Behavior back with another video. Today is part 3 of our beer retrieval trick. So obviously in part 1 we went over how to get your dog to retrieve the can. Strongly recommending that you use a baked bean can or a soup can, something that's obviously not just your typical aluminium can where your dog can just chomp through it and have a little drink of the beer. And to use a nice cozy to make sure that they're comfortable in picking it up. Now hopefully you guys have been having some successes with the part 1. Beer retrieval, and part 2, which we had your dog learning how to open a cupboard to start off with. Now I know we're going to be moving on to a fridge, but as you guys can see, a fridge sticks a little bit while a cupboard moves nice and loose. So that's why we start with an easy win and we build up to something that's going to be a little bit more difficult. Now when I was training Albie this, that was actually a little bit of a hump that we had to overcome, where he would pull and the door wouldn't open and he just assumed it wouldn't go. So you need to stick it out and reinforce a good solid pull at that point, and start to shape a little bit more from there. Now, today we're moving on to a paw target, which I believe Jess has even shown in one of our earlier videos. I think it was a paw to leash target, but we're going to be putting this to cue with Albie for paw, and we're going to be putting it from the ground to the fridge. So that way we can have him push the door closed at the end of this behavior. So start off with Mr. Albs here. Yes, he looked at it, mark and reward, new behavior, yes. Yes, good boy. Now paw touched it, little jackpot, and you can stop there. Now, no more one more time. That's a great time to leave your first session with this new trick. This new behavior, I should say. But moving forward, because Mr. Albie is actually a little bit past there already, he knows, paw, yes, good boy. Paw, yes, good boy. Sit, yes, good boy. Paw, yes, good boy. Paw, yes, good boy. Now that Albie knows that on cue, I can put this to the fridge, or I'm just going to hold it on the cupboard here. Paw, yes, good boy. Paw, yes. Paw. Paw, Albie, let go, let go, paw, paw, wait, let go, come here, sit. So as you can see, Albie's getting a little confused because he knows his cue here to pull open the door. So I'm just going to wait, sit, slow things down, put that back down, paw, yes. And get a few more wins. Now, right there, Albie, come, sit, is a prime example of me lowering my criteria. So Albie was struggling a little bit, and while that might be frustrating for some, I'm just going to make it a little bit easier, yes, so he can have a win, and we can move forward. Paw, yes, good boy. I'm going to put this on the fridge here. Paw, yes, good boy. Go paw, I'm going to throw 3 because this is where we're up to with this new one. Albie, paw, yes. Now you can see Albie's targeting that pretty well. Yes, good boy. So it's almost time for me to paw, yes. Make it a little bit more difficult for him because the next step, obviously, is we've got to open the door. I still want you guys to see, so hopefully you can. Paw, yes, good boy. Albie, paw, yes, good boy. Now you might want to watch the enthusiasm level with how much your dog is slamming that door shut, but I don't have anything too precious in the fridge that I'm worried about. Yes, good boy. Now we can see we got a nice little routine going here for Mr. Albie. The next step, obviously, is going to be chaining these things together. We'll see you for the next video for that one.